All right, everybody, how you doing? This is Captain Jack, and I see that we have good volume on. Should have good volume via the Rode microphone. Hopefully, that'll be coming out. I am on YouTube. I should be on Facebook as well. So we'll see what's going on. I'm tracking. I'm trying to do it on multiple computers. It's a little slow on the one over here to my left, so that might be a little problematic. Hopefully, we'll be good to go. I will see if I can accommodate that. And yeah, well, we're gonna have to make a couple different. Yeah, we're gonna probably have to do some changes here. See what I can do here. It's gonna be. I tell you what. Um, I am gonna try to do as best as I can with the things I got going on. I'll move this over a bit. There we go. I'll make it. I'll make it so we're good to go. Okay, I can see everybody on both YouTube and Facebook. Loud in Facebook. Well, that's good. At least I know. And on YouTube, I want to say hi to everybody. Looks like we got Jerry D on Facebook. Michael, what is it? Fornerado, Hector, Maria Reyes. Good to see you, sweetheart. Mike, Sarah, Hot Neil, Perry Randolph, Popeye. Good to see you, brother. I would love to have you call in because I'd love to have, as a avid sports fan, Popeye. I definitely would like to have your input here, if you don't mind. And again, good evening to my lady, Maria Reyes. Good to see you there, sweetie. Now on YouTube, got Don Webb, Brian, Shane Street. Afternoon. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess it is. Shane must be out west. Vicky Orr, Raider Junkies. Thank you, RJ, for coming in. Jimmy Farrell, Mike Sarah, Ed Winchell. And a couple things I wanted to talk about. And that's I appreciate everybody that goes out of their way to watch the show. I really do. I'm going until I have some issues here. I might let's see here. Yeah, I guess it's slow over on the other computer. Um, and unless I have issues, or I should say, I appreciate everybody that comes in and watches, but I don't want to have what we talk about. Popeye, we're talking about whatever the hell we want to talk about because unlike other shows where there are set subjects, the folks that are the audience, they get to call in and talk about whatever they want to talk about. Raider Rich, thanks for calling in as well, or I should say commenting. Um, I will be giving the number out in a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that this was the start of the show. Is I appreciate all the people that that are here, but I don't want this to be a pissing contest between people that say this show is better than X show or X show is better than this. This show is decent. That show sucks. I appreciate. There's a call coming in. Where'd my phone go? Oh, there it is. Um, hang on. Oh, Hot Neil. Hot Neil, you're gonna have to wait until I turn the phone line up, brother. You're gonna have to wait until I turn the phone line up. Anyway, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody, but let's make sure that we're talking about the positives. Oh, Perry, Popeye. I'm sorry to hear about this. So now I know Popeye was up in Tennessee area and that was hit hard by the tornadoes. I'm glad to see that you are here on Popeye. Blessings to you and all the folks out there that had an extremely, I think it was like a F4 tornado. I know it was a big one. So I'm glad that you're here, Popeye. Glad that you are here. But again, having said that, we are talking free agency because really free agency is the only thing that's going on right now. And because I'm at my government job, I don't get a chance to go pop around and see everything that's going on. So if you're a fan of another team, that's fine. We can talk about your team as well. I don't mind that. I really don't. I'll talk about anything for as long as we're here. But if you got something to talk about, I have been keeping up with what's been going on with our Raiders. And the Raiders made a signing yesterday, and unless they did another one that I haven't seen since yesterday, this one is a little bit more controversial in the fact that the Raiders picked up former first-round draft pick Eli Apple. Yeah, an F4. Okay. Thank you there, Cheryl, for sharing as well. And again, last time I did this on Facebook and YouTube, Flightnet, Dan, I guess that's Hot Neil. I'm good to see you here as well there, Hot Neil. The one thing that I did want to see is Popeye, why did you post in the reaction test lab? Anyway. And now is one of the things that I said here is I'm not going to have pissing contests between different shows. I'm not going to do it. I have my show. Other folks have their show. I had to what do you call it? Block somebody today because they were not really cool. But it's one of those things. I enjoy Popeye for him being a fan of the Raiders. Popeye is a member of the Raider Reaction crew. I said the name. And Raider Reaction has, what do you call it? I don't know, the proper term was they've shunned me, but that's on them. I don't like to talk about them. Other folks talk about Raider Bear. Raider Bear and I are in really good stead. But that's fine. I do my own show. And like I said, when Popeye was asking what are we going to talk about, we're going to talk about whatever the callers are going to talk about. So having said that, let's put up the number. In a second. Line is open 813-699-0834, 813-699-0834. Again, thank you for calling. Oh, okay. I'm sorry there, Popeye. Okay, no, apparently Popeye is not a member of Raider Reaction. We'll see. Jared, I need to put my phone on. I apologize. Let me do that. So if I get to it fast enough, we'll do that. Hopefully it'll come up. Maybe not on time. Okay. Well, Jared, call back again because I didn't turn on the Hangouts quick enough. So you're going to have to call back. Anyway. I'm glad that everybody is here. I said we're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I want to say, again, hello to everybody that's on YouTube. Hello to everybody. There we go. Jared, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Good, Kevin. Jack, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad. I just saying hello to everybody.
Yeah, I'm hanging in there myself, actually. I've been watching a lot of old stuff on the network today. I've just been passing the time away, and there's been a lot of reports here in Pittsburgh about Jameis Winston possibly becoming a Steeler, I've been hearing.
Well, I mean, it's a good. I think it's a good grab for the Steelers because they need a reliable backup quarterback. They went through the season last year without having too many that were really of a good faith. Now, if you have Jameis Winston, which has 4 years starting experience in the NFL, and if he's coming in for Ben and he's not your primary person that's going to be there, then that's not a bad pickup for you.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. The other big stories of the day, however, is obviously what's going to happen with Todd Gurley. I mean, where's he going to end up now? I mean, the Rams cut him and a lot of money out of that too, and now the question is which team would take a chance on him. And then you got Sean Payton now announcing he's got coronavirus. However, I mean that's pretty scary when you think about it. So those are the other two big stories of the day. It seems like.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that. With Peyton saying that he has coronavirus, and remember, Hot Neil, you have to give everybody their time, and Jared is not up on his time. So I know why, because I have the phone still up. That's what do you call it? That is the first big name going on in the NFL saying that they have coronavirus, and it is a very well-known person. Now, the Raider linebacker Poling. He actually said that he believes he has coronavirus because he was overseas in Spain.
Yes, I heard about that I think it was yesterday or the day before. I heard something about that too. Yes. And but as far as coaches go, I mean that's one of the first big names. But like I said, the other story I mentioned a second ago is Todd Gurley. Where's he going to end up now? I mean, the Rams cut his salary literally down to nothing basically, and they knew they were overpaying him. So where's he going to end up now is the bigger question.
Well, I'm not sure. And the thing is with that is that somebody is going to. I would think that Gurley is going to have to remind himself that. Is he worth the money that he was making? Well, obviously the answer is no. He's been a shell of himself, other than through the football season where the Rams went to the Super Bowl. And you remember he got injured that year, and he really didn't help in that respect. So I don't think that people are going to be offering Todd Gurley a large contract. But if he comes and checks out physically, then maybe. A decent small contract of a kind of a prove-it deal would be warranted. But honestly, I think that Todd Gurley is damaged goods and is not worth maybe more than, unfortunately, vet minimum. Because you don't know what you're going to get with him.
Right, and like I said, he was way overpriced when the Rams signed him. Plus, I think the thing what hurt him mostly than anything a few years ago when the Rams were on their way to the Super Bowl, I mean, McKay or whatever his name is, McAfee played him way too much late in the year, when he could have rested him, and gone with another back, like they did back. They had two good backs, him and the other back, they just should have used him more than Gurley. And Gurley kind of burned himself out, and the question is, can he come back 100%? That remains to be seen. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, and like I said, I would say that obviously a smart move. By the way, Popeye, I wouldn't take Jameis Winston. We're good on quarterbacks. I know. Popeyes is trolling. Good Popeye being Popeye. That's fun. Anyway, here's the thing: is I would wait until things are relative again, where you can actually have real physicals, and then see what you can get out of Todd Gurley via a medical check on it, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, we haven't seen any activity that much today, except for the news about Gurley and Payne, like I said. But for the first time in a few days, it seems like it's quiet now. But I think it's going to start picking up a little bit again, maybe this weekend with possibly Cam, maybe some other big games going somewhere. But right now, it seems like all is quiet on the Western Front. He's determined loosely.
Yeah. And again, this is only going to get worse before it gets better. And I'm actually really, leery of having things start on time. Because, again, the NBA season and the hockey season were halted and I think that there's going to be some fruition there. Baseball season did not get kicked off as it should. I really think that maybe that they're going to have like maybe a June start because of the country itself needs to have a flattened out apex where like the people, if you listen to the doctors on TV, they're talking about the curve. They want the curve to be not as high as it could be. They want it to flatten out as quickly as possible and go down. Now, the Chinese have said that there has been no new coronavirus cases in their country, but I also think that they're probably playing to the public there because they are a closed society. Nobody really knows what's going on inside China. The fact that Italy has had more deaths than China, again, we don't know what's really going on inside China. I just think that this is really going to affect the sporting world for quite a while.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, I think I mentioned it to you last night. They're even talking about the U.S. Open now not maybe held at Winged Foot. They're talking about moving it to Oakmont if there is the golf season starting back up again in June, however, for the U.S. Open, because Oakmont already said if Winged Foot, since you guys got a lot of problems up there in upstate New York and everything like that, we'll take the Open off your hands this year and we'll give up our spot in the 2025 U.S. Open rotation, which was supposed to be our turn, and we'll give it to Pinehurst, which is really a classy thing to do. I think that would be the smart thing to do, Howard, because I mean, they could get the crowds at Oakmont, Howard. They've done it before, so I think they could be nice and say, hey, you know what, Winged Foot, you can always get it down the road, like 2 or 3 years down the road if you want to put it in your bid again. But this year, Howard, with what's been happening, Howard, we'll be nice enough. We'll just say, hey, I know you got a problem up there in New York, but you know what, we're going to help you out and bail you out in this case. We'll say, we'll take the Open off your hands at least for this year, Howard, so you guys can try to at least recover from all this crazy ordeal.
Yeah, and again, we'll see what ultimately happens. I'm not sure of anything good really happening out of it, but we're all in wait and see mode because even I mean, with those that have to deal with things, in the work environment, everybody should be going into a quarantine, and we'll even see how it affects everybody down here in Florida too. They're closing the beaches. They're telling people not to come to work. There are other things which I can't get into. So we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, the governor tonight here in Pennsylvania said, Howard, that he's basically ordering all non-life sustaining business to close physical locations tonight. And I think there was supposed to be one. It was supposed to be done at 8 o'clock, Howard. And there's another big name Hollywood celebrity. I don't know if this name rings a bell. Daniel Day Kim from the old TV show that's been on for 10 years, Hawaii Five-0, the one with Scott Conran. Now they're saying he has coronavirus. Apparently, he came out and said it today.
Yeah, I remember him. He was one of the guys that left his show out of a contract dispute.
Yes. Well, anyway, everyone stay safe, wash your hands, be careful, and try not to go crazy, however, and hopefully we'll have things back to normal soon, but it's just weird because today would have been the first day of March Madness, however. It would have been a fun thing to discuss today with all the crazy games happening today, and I was listening to some of the sports shows today. They were talking about some of the best coaches and some of the best, like I said, teams out of the ACC. It was really cool. Like Michael Jordan's North Carolina team versus Albano's team, or Krzyzewski versus Boeheim. It was pretty cool. They did some of that on some of the sports shows up here in Pittsburgh. So they're trying to keep things loose here. In fact, one of the station in Pittsburgh that has the sports network, is replaying old Final Four games. And in fact, one of them tonight is the Michigan State-Indiana State game tonight.
Nice memories. I got to get off because Steve is on the line. Thanks for calling in, Jared.
All right. Take care.
All right. That was our Pittsburgh report from Jared. We go now to Houston. Steve, how you doing there, Steve? What's going on, brother?
Oh, it's kind of rough over here in Texas because a lot of the restaurants are closing. It's only take-out and pick-up, so this affected all of us. We're all kind of basically laid off until things turn around. But the main thing is we want everybody, as I know you do too, Captain, everybody get back to have optimum health. We'll get through this. We've gotten through other things, and we'll just have to ride it out, shipmate.
Yeah, and again, I want the best for everybody, and we're gonna have to we're gonna have to deal with it, and we're gonna have to all take it into shorts a little while. I hope that it won't affect people. I mean, because it's gonna affect lives. It's gonna, Hot Neil, you gotta let people have their time, brother. You gotta let people have their time. I'm going to keep bouncing you if you don't let folks have their time. Everybody gets at least 3 to 5 minutes. Sorry, brother. That's the way this show is. But yeah, we're all going to have to figure things out. And I mean, even Popeye was saying that now, granted, Tennessee got hit with the tornadoes and they have the issues with the coronavirus, and he was talking about there on Facebook is that there's not a lot of meats up there and a lot of damn hoarders. So again, best to Popeye. Hot Neil, give people their time. You got to wait. Go ahead, Steve.
I was just going to say, prayers and thoughts with the people in Tennessee and Alabama. They get some really, and people in the Midwest that are affected by these spring tornadoes and everything. But we'll bounce back and everything, Captain. We just have to hang in there, and thank goodness, hopefully they'll stay true to their word, and every American should get at least $1,000 checks for the hardship and unemployment compensation for your state workforce. They're starting to do that here in Texas. I hope they do that nationwide. Just want to get your thoughts about it. I heard the Raiders signed off on the signed off on the option of not playing in Oakland this year. Just want to get your thoughts on that. And what do you think about Carl Joseph leaving? I guess when they signed Heath and everything, that was kind of writing. They said it was basically a 1-for-1. And you gotta love Jason Witten. He's the ultimate player. He'll be a great Raider. You gotta look Eli Apple. I know some people say he's questionable, but I think he's and of course, Carl Nassib, the former Buccaneer that you're well aware of, the defensive end. They say he can play defensive end in a 4-3 or offensive linebacker in the 3-4. Corey Littleton, that was a great pickup, and so was the Bears' Nowakowski.
Kwiatkowski.
Right. They said it makes the Raiders much more adept at against the running backs and tight ends. They said based on these two picks, the Raiders have gone from one of the worst linebacking corps to one of the best just on those two players. And you just have to I'm comparing Mike Mayock to Ron Wolf and everything, the great Ron Wolf. And I think that, in Gruden and Mayock we trust. I love the free agent people are going. You got to love the defensive tackle out of the Cowboys, Malik Collins. And let me see if I've missed any. I think I got them all.
Well, yeah.
Of course, Mariota.
Right,
what do you think about all that?
Yeah, well, you missed the show the other night, but you were busy, and so you didn't get a chance to hear. I liked every signing that we had from the other day. As far as Eli Apple, I'm willing to give him a chance to see whether his physical makeup is such that he will be an asset to the team. I will say that he has been a downer. He was a first-round draft pick by the Giants that that got expelled from the Giants to the Saints a season or two ago and just kept getting burnt being on the opposite side of Marshawn Lattimore. So, jury's still out on Apple. He has all of the physical tools that you want in a in a cornerback, but so far he has not lived up to pedigree. So maybe, the third time's the charm, as they say. Okay, we'll see. Now, as far as I think somebody was talking about Carl Joseph.
Right.
Carl Joseph played well this last season with the Raiders. In fact, literally, he sealed the deal on 2 of our wins. And the second one was when he got injured and was out ever since. I wanted to sign Carl Joseph back, providing that he didn't have a big, wasn't overpricing himself. But when the Raiders signed Heath, and you got to love the fact that Marinelli is on the team, because without Marinelli, we don't get 4 free agents. Maybe Witten signs anyway, but Marinelli is directly responsible for bringing Malik Collins over. He's directly responsible for bringing Heath over, and he's indirectly responsible for bringing Corey Littleton over because his son-in-law was his linebacker coach with the Rams. So I know that he knows a lot about him as well. So I think it's going to be really good for us there. I'm sorry to see Carl Joseph go, but Heath is a very good safety and special teamer. So that's like a 1-for-1 swap. I'm willing to give Eli Apple an opportunity. And for those that are saying that Witten was a bad pickup, he hasn't even done anything yet for the Raiders. I mean, if the fact is he can come in and extol all of his pro football Hall of Fame career knowledge to the folks that are there in the tight end core. So that's a good thing. So I think it all will work out best. Whether he makes the team or not is up to Gruden, okay? And all of these people that signed, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to sign. But I'm really happy as well with Mariota. I'm really happy with Carl Nassib. I think that Carl Nassib is probably going to be one of the better free agent signings this offseason.
I'll tell you what, Captain, it just makes you feel so much better because with this draft that's coming up and what we had last year, obviously the reason why the Chiefs are successful is because they've hit on a lot of drafts with their general manager and of course Andy Reid. So hopefully we'll be closing the gap. But just want to get your opinion about what do you think about who should we go after? Should we go with wide receiver with the first and second round? Should we go with try to get Lamb and will he be available? And what do you you always have to have at least one more offensive lineman and would you shore up more of the defense, obviously, like the cornerbacks or whoever's available, the best player available? I'm asking you a roundabout question, and sorry I missed your show the other night. I was working late, unfortunately.
No, man, you don't have to apologize for missing the show. That's why we put it on the site so people can pick it up. I think that the Raiders need wide receivers, but they don't necessarily need to get one in the first round. And because you're on time, Steve, I'm gonna let you go, and Hot Neil finally gave you the amount of time to talk. I'll answer your question and we'll go. But take care, Steve.
Take care. God bless. Bye.
All right, that was Steve. Hot Neil, stand by a second so I can answer the questions. Like I said, brother, you got to give people their time. So let me answer the questions from Steve, and we'll go from there. I think that the Raiders should be picking up a wide receiver, but as I said a long time ago, I firmly believe that they should trade back probably their 19th pick to pick up a extra pick in the second round, and that's where they're going to find some value in the second round. Is it going to be maybe for somebody that we can pick up, like maybe Jalen Hurts, for maybe one of those higher up quarterbacks that drop? I think that's a possibility. I still say we need to drop back with that second pick. So, and I think that you can get a damn good wide receiver in the second and or third round. There's going to be plenty of them out there. So it's all about Mayock and crew doing their job. I think that if they hit the ball out of the park like they did last year, it was good to go. Okay, so Hot Neil. Oh, Patrick Queen would be good, but we'll see. Go ahead, Hot Neil.
How you doing, Captain?
I'm good, brother. What's going on with you?
Well, let's put it this. I'm pissed off.
Okay.
On the Raiders.
Okay, why are you pissed?
Because, number one, why are we taking away Carr? Okay.
What do you mean? Why are we taking away Carr? We didn't take away Carr. We added a solid backup behind Carr.
Well, everybody in Facebook saying that Carr is gone. That he's probably going to the Chicago, to the Bears or something.
Well, until it happens, he's still on the team.
Okay. No, because I got pissed off.
Hey, Popeye, we have 3 third-round picks, brother. We have 3 third-round picks and no second-rounders. Go ahead, Hot Neil.
Well, let me tell you something real quick, and I let anybody talk, and then I'll get out of here at YouTube because I got to go somewhere.
Okay.
Number one, thank you for your concern. What you said in Facebook about my friend in Cuba passed away.
Yeah.
I put that he had the virus.
Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, you put sorry in the comment. Second, I want to say I recovered my vision already, 2020.
Outstanding. That's better than mine.
Yeah, I recovered it real quick. I went to the eye doctor today, and they said I recovered 2020.
Well, good for you.
I could see better now. And second, I want to say something to all the Raider nations. Please be safe out there, okay? If they're putting, here in West Palm Beach, pretty soon they're going to put a curfew, just like they did in Miami. But the curfew is going to be from 8 o'clock at night until 6 in the morning.
Well, I mean, and I agree with that, man. Why should people be going around, flaunting that, hey, I'm cool, I'm young, I'm out here, and I'm doing whatever the hell I want. It sounds like they're playing Cartman. I'll do what I want. I do what I want. Well, you know what? Bullshit. You ain't doing what you want. You're gonna go and do what the folks say is correct to do.
the most disgusting thing I saw last night when I went to go get my mail in the mailbox. I live in a mobile home community. I saw a guy inside the freaking small pool taking a freaking shower and taking a dump inside the pool.
Who is
And I called
doing
a
this?
cop.
A homeless person? What?
No, it was a resident.
Man, I
taking
hate.
a shower in the pool and taking, at the same time he took a dump inside the pool. And I called the cops. I said, if you don't get here within 5 minutes, I'm going to shoot him in the head.
Well, good luck on that one. I'm sorry that you live in a place where they have people that, take dumps in swimming pools. Anything else, Hot Neil?
No, sir. I wish you everybody a safe night and God bless. And I will see you pretty soon, Captain.
All right. Well, you take care of yourself, partner. You be well.
You too. Thank you.
All right. That was Hot Neil. Always good hearing from him. At least, hey, he's got 20/20 vision now. That's good. I tell you what. I for those that say about my glasses, I gotta have my glasses. I don't do what is it, contacts, because I anything that comes close to the eye I just can't stand. So I don't going on that. Mike Sarah says I guess the pool dumper needs to be arrested. Mike Sarah's in self-quarantine in Misery, so hopefully he's feeling better as well. And Brian does remind us that the Bears actually got Nick Foles. Nick Foles is probably going to start. Nick Foles is probably going to start for the Bears. It's I mean, all the writing's on the wall there, so I really think that. Yeah, like I said, Mike, he had no toilet. That's still no excuse from dumping in a pool, man. If you're going to take a dump in a trash can, man. There you go. If you have no toilet paper, dump in a trash can. And this way, it's not as nasty as dumping in a pool. That's all I got to say about that. 813-699-0834. Popeye, what would you like to talk about? Who else is here? Lisa Land, thank you for coming in, honey. Steve Beasley is there over on Facebook. Reynolds Sanchez, thank you as well. Stevie Martinez. Ryan Downs, good to see you, brother. Ryan's actually up in Washington State. Hopefully you are well up there. I know that Washington, New York, what's the other hotbed? It's California, Washington, and New York, the hotbeds of the coronavirus. Doc Burdett, how you doing, brother? What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, Captain?
Not bad, not bad.
Hey, all I got to say is one thing for the Raider Nation. Just because we signed some of the free agents doesn't mean they're going to be on the 53-man roster.
That's right.
Ask Brandon Marshall.
That's right.
So I'm just hoping Eli Apple could be more than a can body. I hope he comes to fruition, but if he don't, hey, it doesn't take nothing to take a flyer on somebody.
Right.
Just to do what they can do.
Right. I mean, just because he's on the team now does not mean he's going to be on the team. And I would normally say September, but we don't know what that season is going to look like. So we'll see.
Well, talking about the season, there's no reason they can't delay the season by 3 weeks. Just push everything back. And then you still have the Super Bowl in February. And that would put your main OT, your training and, mini camps and stuff in July. And
right.
In the heat, most viruses don't do very well in the heat.
Right. But, anything that we can hypothesize about this, we don't know. Because this is a very different entity for the United States and the world, for that matter. They have not seen the world, if I remember correctly, when they're talking about the Spanish flu of 1918, okay, that was a worldwide pandemic like we have now. I don't think SARS got out of Asia. SARS was big in China, okay? This pandemic is a real worldwide pandemic. If SARS got out of Asia, I don't recall it going out of Asia. If I'm incorrect, that's fine. I'll own up to it. But I
don't think SARS nor MERS both got out of Asia. I think you're correct.
Right.
But Ebola but Ebola was more widespread than that, and is not as widespread as, it came to America in a few cases. It came to Europe in a few cases for Ebola. But the bad thing about Ebola was it was about like 80 to 90% fatal.
Oh yeah, Ebola is exactly the virus that was put out in the movie Outbreak. That was based on an Ebola virus from Africa and how decimating it is. It literally makes your entire body just full of juice and pus because it destroys everything. Okay, that is a killer. So the fact that didn't really get out of, it did leave Africa, but still Ebola has been pretty much been kept out of the worldwide scope. Like I said, the last time that there's been a pandemic of this widespread throughout the world was the Spanish virus in 1918, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right, but our healthcare systems and antivirals and all that stuff has gotten a lot better. I think there's a lot of more fear out there than I think. We got to take it serious. Definitely got to take it serious. But I also think good hygiene, washing your hands, social distancing. There's a lot of things we can do to curb this. Also, there's a lot of good drug trials going on right now. I've been trying to keep up with that. One drug that you probably are well aware of is chloroquine. They're doing a lot of testing on it. And in South Korea and China, they've had some positive. Now, I don't really trust the Chinese. I don't know how truthful they are. But the South Koreans are more open, and they're having some good progress with chloroquine, which is used for malaria.
Right, and that's the one that they are. In fact, there was a person today that did an interview on one of the news channels. They hopped him up with about 5 days worth of the however you call it, chloroquine or whatever.
Chloroquine, yes.
Chloroquine, yeah. They threw him on that, and he said it was almost an immediate 180 on how well he felt. So if that's a positivity, then until there is a definitive, this will kill COVID-19, we're going to have to use anything that within our powers to at least help out. And if that's one of the positives going, then that's a positive going.
And the good thing about the chloroquine is we have so much stockpile in the national, and DOD has so much of that stockpiled. The national government has so much of that stockpile because we use that all the time. It's mandatory in the AMOS, on the ships, and the Marine Corps MEUs, and the Army, and everywhere. They got to have so much of that just because of we may go into places that have malaria.
Right.
So that's a drug that we do have plenty of, and that's a good thing. And it's already been approved by the FDA for human consumption, so we already know it's relatively safe. So, there's some positives out there, and I just want to give out a good positive. But like I was saying about the Raiders, I'm not going to freak out who we get because we don't know who's going to make the roster.
Yeah.
And if they're better, and they win out, there's not a Raider fan here that doesn't want the best possible person on the 53. I want the best 53 we can get.
Hey, it's all about wins, and it shouldn't be about what the name on the back of the uniform is. It's about the pirate that's on the helmet, and that's all it should be.
I agree. I 100% agree with that. And also, and just another thing I was going to say, I just hope we look and maybe get a veteran wide receiver along with getting a receiver in the draft. And I agree with you. We can step back easily and take that 19 pick, go get a second-round pick, and maybe, get more picks if we step back from that 19th pick.
Yeah.
And easily get a decent, excellent receiver. A lot of people forget about T. Higgins. He may be in the second round.
Yeah.
Very possibly could be in the second round.
I think Higgins might make it.
And he reminds me so much of Hunter Renfrow. I think funny, just be able to get into the open slot.
Right. And Laviska Shenault might make it to the second round. The kid that's out of Notre Dame has second round written all over him. There's plenty of good receivers that and Popeye. And that's why I want Popeye to call. Is I want to hear from Popeye about all those wonderful LSU receivers, and I want you to give me a drop on all those LSU receivers. Popeye is a big LSU fan. He's like my resident subject matter expert on that. That's why I'd like to hear from him tonight. I want to hear about all those receivers that LSU has.
Now, is Moss from LSU eligible to go in the draft?
I don't think Moss is. I think that he will go in next year's draft. And the reason why I say that is because I have not heard one thing about Randy's nephew, and you would have think that he would have made some airplay that he is eligible. To my knowledge, Moss is not eligible. I think he's eligible next year.
No, I think there's one kid down there. I think his name is Jefferson. Supposed to be pretty good receiver. I think I got the last name correct.
Yeah, Jefferson is. Yeah.
And there's some other players, not necessarily from big schools. There's a good receiver out of Pitt that's really good. There's there's players from all over the country right now who are got the big frame, nice steady body, got some good speed, good hands. They can run the route. That's what you don't have to have the splashiest move. We just got to have a quality move.
Yeah. And you know what? Popeye seems to think that he's draft eligible. I'm not sure, but he says that he's going to fall. Honestly, I don't want to pick up Moss as a receiver, and I'll tell you why. It's not because of his ability. It's because he's going to have his uncle in his ear about Raider. If you ever listen to Randy Moss talk about him and the Raiders, it's the worst thing going, okay? So I don't think that the Raiders would do themselves a solid by drafting a kid that's going to have a bunch of negatives in his ear from his uncle. That's just me.
You got a good point, because family has a lot of influence on people.
That's right.
They do. You're exactly right there, Captain.
Yeah.
Well, I need to get off here, but I'll tell you what, love your show. Don't let anybody get to you. You do a great show. I like your show. I like the Raider Bear show. I watch it too. I watch multiple shows, and I tell you, we're all Raiders. We got to learn to get along. If you don't like a show, then go to another show. But you do a quality show, Captain. Well, and don't let nobody bring you down.
I appreciate it. Like I said, I don't want to denigrate other people. They have issues with me. That's their problem, not mine.
You do a good show. Like I said, I watch multiple shows.
All right.
And I'm telling you, we're all Raiders. We got to start pulling together.
All right. Hey, thanks again, Doc. Love hearing from you.
All right. Take it easy, buddy.
All right. All right. That was Doc Burdett. Always good to hear from him. Okay, apparently I was wrong. So apparently Moss is eligible. Hairline fracture in his foot. Okay. Thing is, though, is that now I thought that was Randy Moss was his uncle. I thought that was his uncle, not his father. Somebody tell me if that is true or not. I thought that was his uncle, Randy. Let me know. He had surgery. Don't promote other shows. Don't promote other shows I'm not promoting other shows. It is his son? Okay. Well, thank you there. Popeye knows. Popeye is all LSU all the time. So in that respect, Popeye being all LSU all the time, I'll take his word for it. Line is open, 813-699-0834. From what I know, the only call-in show amongst the Raider webcasters, the only call-in show that's almost always calling. I do have other shows. I'm gonna have an interview show. I spoke with Mike Davis. We're gonna have another show with Mike Davis pretty soon, so get ready for that. So when I get a time I'll have an interview program with Mike Davis. I'm gonna call some other people, especially if I'm at home. We'll see what's going on. 909. Who do I have on the line?
Hey, this is Raider Rich.
Hey, Raider Rich, what's going on, brother? Where's 909 at?
Inland Empire.
Okay.
California.
There you go. IE is in the house. How you doing, brother?
Not too bad. Hey, I first caught you
off the Hardcore Raider show, and I agree with you a lot on a lot of things, especially things going on, with the team. And just calling this is my second show, and just trying to express that it's okay to have different thoughts. Like I've been on here. I was listening last time, and people are like upset because people have disdain for Derek Carr and stuff like that, and it's not like me. I personally don't believe in Derek Carr anymore. However, I wish nothing wrong towards him.
Yeah.
He's a Raider forever, and people need to stop being so emotional about a certain player, because if John Gruden and Mike Mayock want to bring in competition for him, want to light a fire behind him, it's probably because he's not up to par. And when I have competition in life, I step up. I'm not going to sit there and lay down and let somebody run me over. And I hope Derek has that in him too.
Right.
I would love to see 2016 Derek Carr back.
Yeah.
And we had him back for the first game of the year. He was 2016 Derek Carr.
Yeah.
You've seen it. He had lasers in his eyes. He was focused. He didn't have happy feet. And that's the Derek Carr I want.
Right. And that's the one that we've been missing since that time in 2016. Now remember, the following year he had issues with the offensive line, and he had issues with allegedly the line laying down and letting him get schwacked. He got the broken back in Denver. He had the broken finger in against the Panthers. So there's been a lot of issues since 2016. Okay.
I understand that.
Oh, and I'm just saying we need to see that Derek Carr, because what pisses me off more about Derek Carr, and I've said it on every show, is if it's fourth down, fucking throw the ball to somebody. Don't throw it at somebody's feet. That's my thing. Okay, even the checkdowns are at least legitimate if that's the only thing that's available. Okay, but on a fourth down play, don't throw it in the fucking ground. I'm sorry, I get really pissed about that.
Oh no, I agree. I mean, like in the Jaguars game, you got Josh Jacobs who's playing with a broken shoulder, and he's carrying the team again.
Right.
With a broken shoulder, he can't lift his shoulder all week. Okay, but he's still playing like a dog. He's jumping up and down, doing jumping jacks. And then the look he gave Derek Carr, after Derek Carr just sat there and got sacked and rolled up.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't good. And there's no excuses nobody can say about that. And that, me personally, I kind of like, I don't think this is the dude anymore. You mean? It's because if, I don't care who says what, Josh Jacobs is the straw that stirs the drink in that team.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you notice when the defense comes off the field or special teams, they come up to who? Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram, Cleve Farrell. Those are the guys, Trayvon Mullen. Those are the guys they're coming up to. That's who the team are gravitating around.
Right.
So people need to realize that you know what, dude, maybe the torch has been passed. The big dog, in the locker room is Josh Jacobs. I mean, Josh Jacobs was pissed off, because of was mad at all his teammates in New York. I mean, Trayvon Mullen, after the Jaguar game, didn't talk to nobody. Didn't even take a shower, change his clothes, and left. You know what I mean? These young cats are studs.
Yeah.
They're studs, and you know what, dude? Throwing the ball away, shrinking under pressure, that's not going to cut it for them.
No.
And that's not fair to them either.
No, it's not. And like I said, the thing that is the most upsetting is that if you're throwing the ball away on fourth down, that's telling the team that you really don't give a shit. And there's no two ways around it, you know. And I, like I said, I'm not a car hater. I've been a car supporter. In fact, I don't know. I don't think. Well, maybe if you see it on the other camera. Let me see which camera's on here. If you see it on there, I don't think you can see it there either. If you look at the Howie Long and you see that there's a Raider thing, a Raider thing above that. Actually, to the right of that, there is well, let me see if I can show you here. There we go. Up top, Derek Carr, right there. Right next to the, right on top of the, or right next to the signed Howie Long. Again, I wouldn't have that in my room if I didn't at least, you know, give him his props for what he's been doing. But he needs to earn that back with the Raider fans here. He needs to earn that back.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I don't want anything. I'm not trying to personally hurt people or anything. I just wanted to get that out there. You know, let's be honest with everything, with everybody, and you know.
Hey, Rich, I appreciate the call.
Go Raiders! All right.
Thanks for the call. That was Rich. You got a good one. That was Rich, and I'm going to the next call, and it's Doc, the other Doc, the Patriots fan, Doc Cabral. How you doing, brother?
Been a little while, Jay. How about you?
I'm just here so that I don't get what's like the old Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I won't be fined.
Sorry you guys didn't get Brady, man.
No. I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic that I being the Raiders did not get Brady. There were plenty of Raider fans that wanted him. I think those Raider fans, in my opinion, I don't know who the hell's calling. Hang on a second. Okay, 936. You're gonna have to wait till everybody gets the caller gets their time. 936. Call back when you see that it's eligible. No, I didn't want Tom Brady, and here it is. Okay. Tom Brady with making the Bucs pay $30 million for 2 years guaranteed, $60 million for a 43-year-old quarterback that wanted to have his say on how things were going to run. No, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Okay, I'm very glad that he was not showing up, and I think that all the people who were saying that that he was going to be a Raider. There was just a smokescreen, man. I did not want Tom Brady. So I mean, now that your best boy is gone, Doc, and I know you're going to be a Pats fan because you've been a Pats fan when they were the suckiest team in the NFL. But what do you think now? What do you think the fact that the Patriots are likely not unknown caller? You got to give them some time. You got to give 5 minutes, unknown caller. I'll show when Doc is ready. I'll tell him that you can call in. What do you think about the Pats, man? Is Belichick going to be able to do something with that team? Because everybody that I've spoken to and everybody that I've heard on the radio says that the Buffalo Bills are going to take that division next year.
That's possible. They got a pretty good team. They're not down and out. They're a lot better than they were before. My only thing is they got two scrubs for quarterbacks. They're not looking to win the Super Bowl. I already know that. They had their chance to win it, and they didn't do it. My only thing is the AFC East is going to be really, really interesting this year. Very, very interesting.
Doc, say that correctly. It's been the AFC least for the last 20 years. Put an L in front of the E. It's been the AFC least, with the Patsies, Cheatriots, whatever you want to call them, winning 5 of their 6 division games, always losing at least one to the Dolphins, and then we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the reality is that, Wonder Boy's gone now, so now it's time to step up and be a real man for all these guys. If they're worth their money, they're going to do it. If they're not, they'll all walk away next year anyways if we have a season this year.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I'm hoping that, all sports are affected by what's going on. I don't like to just talk about the coronavirus, but it's funny because I have you as a medical professional. I have Doc Burdett as a medical professional. Folks, if you want to know anything that's going on medically about what's going on, oh, by the way, happy birthday to Vicky's daughter. If you have any questions, get with me and I'll supply you Doc's number and other Doc's number, and then I'm sure that they'll turn their phone off after a while. But they'll give you the best information of what really is going on.
What's your bit about the new deal?
The deal that the players signed?
Yeah.
Actually, nobody's really asked me about that, and I'm glad you did. If you look at what the deal was, the collective bargaining agreement, it only passed by 60 votes. It was that close, 60 votes.
Yeah.
Now remember, I don't think everybody voted. I don't think everybody voted, because if you add up the votes that were tallied, I don't think that everybody voted. So some people thought they basically abstained. They didn't even want to talk about it. So the fact is that it was so close, and that I think the only thing that was going for him is that the players did not want to push a semi-lockout at this measure. Now the owners could have locked them out this year, but the owners are not going to cut off their nose to spite their face. I think that the owners, from what I understand, and this is just pure conjecture, I was told that the owners said, well, if you don't like the CBA now, we're going to go for 18 games in the next one, so you better take this one now before we push it. Now, in 10 years, again, in my estimation, in 10 years, when this CBA is done, I firmly believe that we'll have an 18-game schedule.
Oh, definitely. They've already got it in their back pocket. They're just waiting to say, well, fuck you, it's our money, we're going to get what we want.
Right.
It's just sad that it's that way. It really is, because the game that we love, you and me, the way we were in San Diego and the Philippines, it's hard to be, especially when you're away from your family. That's our home. That's what we see as a part of our home. And when you take that away, it's real difficult. And that's what it kicks me. It's not just the guys here in the land of the big PX, but the guys that are overseas that can't see a game, or can't go to a game, or can't do what they want to do with a game, or sit around the TV with a bunch of guys drinking brewskis. They can't do that anymore, because it's become unstable in many ways. It really has. The way the owners are playing now, it's become very unstable, particularly for the young guys that aren't making $800 million a year. They're not getting that.
Hey, Doc, we're up on time. It's always good hearing from you, brother.
Love you, brother. Settle ill, and best to the family.
All right. Thanks again, Doc. You take care.
Love you, brother.
That was Doc Cabral, my Patriots fan. We got 936. 936, were you the gentleman that was trying to call a couple different times?
Yes.
Okay. Who am I speaking to?
It's Ross Rader. What's up, Captain Jack?
Who is this, please? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
It's Ross Rader.
Ross Rader?
It's Watts Rader.
Oh, Watts Rader. Holy shit, Watts. Good to hear from you, brother. I'm glad to have you on the show. What's going on?
All right, man. Just calling in. Just checking on you, bro. What's going on?
Hey, anytime you see me here upright and doing a show, you at least know that the ticker is working and that the brain is working and that I am out and about. So that it's always a good day, because God does not promise you the next one. So I'm always happy about that one.
Hey, it's all good, man. Hey, it's all good. I mean, stuff that's going on right now, you got to be thankful for what you got.
That you got it. Hey, Watts, be sure to do me a favor and text me, or give me a text, so I'll put your number in my phone. In fact, let me check. I'm not sure if you're in there or not, because sometimes the phones will show people that are there, and sometimes it won't. Yeah, you're not in my phone, man. So actually, it ain't even registering. So yeah, send me a text, brother, so I have your name, and hopefully eventually it'll show up.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll work. That'll work. Yeah, man, these Raiders, you know, I'm pretty calm, man. Like we did a good job with the free agency, and I'm pretty happy about it, man. We filled in some holes, filled in some spots. We went and got Littleton, man. You know, we went and got a good linebacker. We just said, hey, we're gonna spend the money. We're gonna get us a good young linebacker. So I liked that. We got 2 other linebackers too. I like getting Collins from Dallas. I like that for the depth. We went and got Heath and Witten. I mean, I'm cool with that. Whatever. I mean, we did pretty good, man. We got mostly defense. We went and got Mariota, you know, to come in and try to put a fire behind Carr. You know, either
Amen to that. Amen to that. I mean, like I said,
either it's going to happen or it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And here's the thing: if it don't happen, then Marcus Mariota will be the quarterback for the Raiders, because Marcus Mariota is the newest version of Rich Gannon. Okay, he's cerebral. He can run. He's decent. He is decent on his spot passing. He doesn't have a big arm, but he knows what's going on. He's the new version of Rich Gannon. And if Derek Carr doesn't get his shit together, then Marcus Mariota is going to be our quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with that. I mean, I'm like this, man. If we were going to go get a quarterback, let's not go get Brady, but let's not go get a bum quarterback either. Let's go get somebody like Mariota, who's still young, and he still got confidence, to go out there, and he just deserved another opportunity. So I think that it was a really good move by the Raiders to get him.
Yeah.
And we can still draft a rookie too,
Oh, I firmly believe that we're going to draft a rookie. And the reason why I say that is I think that depending upon what happens this year between Carr and Mariota, first off, if Carr shits the bit and Mariota, who's only signed for a year from what I understand, although I haven't seen the full things of the contract, if Mariota is signed and he ends up winning the job, I firmly believe the Raiders will give him another contract. They'll let Carr go at the end of the year, and whoever that quarterback that we get in the draft to groom will be that good number 2 guy. But if Carr does see the light, and it inspires him to friggin' start doing the shit that he should, then maybe Mariota is going to be like the Tannehill from this year's version of Tannehill, and the Raiders will hold options on him, and then they'll be able to do with what I want, and then maybe get a good pick for him next year. The Raiders did well, and I firmly believe that there's going to be a rookie quarterback on this team. Now, depending upon how the CBA is structured, and I haven't read it because I heard it was like 600 pages, depending upon how the CBA is structured, maybe that quarterback, if they think that he has the qualities to be a good one in the future. Remember how, Marquette King got IR'd for a hangnail? Maybe they IR the kid for a year just to keep him on board, just to make sure we got him and we can keep him for next year. Just a thought. Right,
definitely. I think us getting Mariota, it makes us a little more flexible with what we can do, moving forward. So, who else did we get?
We got Mariota. Yeah, we got Heath at safety. We got Eli Apple, who I said.
We got Eli Apple at corner. I mean, hey, yeah, he just needs some coaching.
I hope that third time's the charm for Eli, because unfortunately the results on the stats for Eli Apple to boot, or I should say to date, is that he has not lived up to his draft status.
Yeah, but see, I guess I like the Eli Apple because he was one of the players on my free agent video that I named, but he was the last player that I named, and I was like, I don't know, but the only thing that stuck out to me was like his size, though.
Yeah, man, he's like, I think he's like 6'2" and quick as a cat.
So I'm thinking maybe he needs a little more confidence and some coaching, some good coaching, from the defensive coaches. Maybe that'll help him.
I think so. I think so.
So I'm glad we picked him up and just he's gonna be in the mix. I mean, so we're gonna have competition, at the positions, and of course, we're gonna hit the draft. Now, I had this thought. We don't went linebacker heavy, even though I wouldn't pass on a linebacker in this draft, but I'm thinking the Raiders might go cornerback with that second first-round pick if they keep that first-round pick and probably draft a linebacker later in the draft. I don't know. That's just something I was thinking about. That's the next position.
Okay, so
that's the next position.
Right. But now I didn't quite hear that because unfortunately my speakers aren't as good on some calls. Were you saying that we're going to use both of our first rounders, or were you saying it like me?
No, the second pick, the second first round pick.
Okay, so
now you could go linebacker later in the draft. I wouldn't do it, but I'm just saying you could do that.
Well, I tell you what, personally, I think that if Kinlaw's there at 12, I said that when this was in Vegas, I said, if Kinlaw is on the board and I'm in Vegas for the draft, this was before all the Corona shit was coming out, I said, I will literally jump in the water and swim to get to the podium and say, and with the 12th pick, the Raiders take Javon Kinlaw. That's just me, though. Okay. Now, and I still think that I just won't get a chance to swim at the Bellagio. But the other thing is this: maybe Simmons, although Simmons has got a lot of up.
Well, you talking about at 12? Oh man, I'm going receiver, man.
Well, but here's the thing, though, man. There are so many good receivers in this draft that you don't have to waste first-round capital for receivers. I think Okudah will be gone, but I think that there's going to be a good cornerback available. I think the kid's name is Hill out of Virginia. He's a possibility, okay? There's so many other different things that we can have because, remember, there's CeeDee Lamb, there's T. Higgins, there's Judy, there's, like I said, Laviska Shenault. There's the kid out of Notre Dame that will just totally, Megatron-like body type that will kill people, okay? There's so many. And I haven't even mentioned the Jefferson out of LSU, the other Jefferson out of Florida who had the fracture in his foot, whose father was a pro. There's a lot of good receivers there. So you don't have to waste capital on a receiver. And the thing is that even and I'm not sure whether this is just a smokescreen, but we'll see if that Mayock said that he's kind of leery about picking receivers in the first round.
Okay. Well, what about this? What about figuring out a way to get a second round pick?
Yeah, but that's
in the second round.
Right, and that's why I said take that 19 pick and trade back into the second round, or take that pick and trade back so that you trade back, maybe stay in the first round with 19, get that second round pick, and then you can pick maybe one of those receivers, or I think that's where you might be able to get Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, see, that's another thing I was thinking too, though. That second round pick is kind of important if you get it, because you can do some things with that right there.
Right.
So, like you said, we'll see, man. I mean, I'm good with whatever the Raiders do. I mean, because Mayock, he done proved himself to me. So I'm just waiting to see what they're gonna do, man. And I think we're gonna do good again. I think we really gonna have a team built up for the past 2 seasons, and they're gonna be looking pretty promising. I think, man.
Yeah,
we didn't sign a whole bunch of old dudes, slow.
No.
We kept it young.
Yeah, and like I said, people are saying like, "Hey, what do you think about Clay Matthews?" I'm like, "Well, Clay needs to transition to TV right now." Okay.
Yeah, we need speed.
That's right. And like I said, Kwiatkowski might not be the speediest linebacker, but he's a good coverage linebacker, and we got the best linebacker available in free agency with Littleton. Like I said, Carl Nassib is an end, but if they ever wanted to run like a 3-4 type of front or like a 5-2, Nassib can play both the 3-4 outside linebacker or the defensive end, which he was playing here in Tampa. I know about Carl Nassib being here. He's a fantastic pickup for the Raiders. Fantastic.
Definitely, because I was thinking that too. When I was looking at the draft, I was like, we talk about these certain positions, but I was like, man, it would be nice if we did get another edge player, or a player that could play edge. I mean, because we don't know what's going to happen with Arden Key. So I think Nassib, if he could come in, I mean, I want Key to do something, but if Nassib could come in, that'd be an extra player right there, for the ends and the rotation, to kind of keep them fresh.
Well, let me ask you there, Watts. Now, here's the thing. You got Nassib, and I think he's going to stick, especially with his contract. You got a decision to make between Arden Key and Dion Jordan, right? If it's up to me, I'm keeping Jordan. Because Jordan has got a lot more natural ability. Number 3 pick in the draft. In fact, remember, he was picked where we were going to be picked because we traded out of that pick. The Dolphins traded up, and we ended up getting the cornerback out of Houston with the heart issue that only lasted a little while. Can't remember his name. Doesn't matter.
DJ Hayden.
There you go, DJ Hayden. See how forgettable that is. But the thing is that we got Dion Jordan actually on our team. Now, if he stays straight and flies right, and he was doing all of the things that he was supposed to do last year, I think that it would be great for him.
For the top chances he got.
Yeah, but I'd rather have Jordan over Key because Key can't keep the weight on, man. He's going to get broken half.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, Key should have did what Max Crosby did, but he didn't do that. So, because he needed to put on more weight. So Max Crosby put on weight.
Yeah.
He put on weight.
Well,
he was like what? He was like what? He was like 240 something, the late 240s, right? Something like that, 250.
Key is so slight.
I mean, Key, I'm talking about Crosby.
Oh yeah, Crosby put on. I think it was about 25 pounds, and look he should. I mean, in a perfect world, Max Crosby is the defensive rookie of the year, but they're going to give it to old boy because they're going to give it to old boy. Now, Cleve Farrell played well. I think he's going to have a breakout year next year, knowing that people are overlooking him. Okay, but like I said, Dion Jordan has the body type right now. So if you put Jordan with Nassib, Cleve Farrell, and Crosby, that's a hell of a foursome at defensive end.
Right. I mean, I still like Mo Hurst out there. I mean,
PJ's out, man.
Rotation player.
PJ's out.
Player.
PJ's out with I tell you what, with the signing of Malik Collins and the fact that he was put on blast by Mike Mayock. He was put on blast by Mike Mayock. That's telling me that PJ, he might want to look. I mean, if he does anything in Nevada, don't buy, rent.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see, man.
Hey,
I like the college pickup though, and then Marinelli's around, so I think he had a lot of say in some decisions,
right?
Getting players.
And Marinelli put basically Gunther on blast because here it is. If Gunther doesn't perform, I mean, it's a transition to just on the office door of Rod Marinelli, instead of it saying defensive line coach, they'll etch that off. They'll put defensive coordinator, and Paul will be shown the door. It's that easy.
Right.
Hey, Watts, dude, you got to call in more often, brother. It's always good hearing from you.
Hey, definitely, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna text you that number too.
Hey, Thanks again. Get the word out to all those people. And while I got you on here, remember, we're ready to give away this Freddie Blitnikoff signed pick with 700 subscribers. And again, when we get to 1,000, here's the Marcus Allen helmet that we're going to give away for 1,000. So anything you can do, get that word out and make sure that all your things are out so I know who's subscribing.
For sure, man. I appreciate it.
Hey,
definitely, bro.
Good hearing from you, brother. I appreciate you calling in.
All right. Have a good night.
You take care.
All right.
That was Watts Raider, man. I enjoyed hearing from that. Oh man, good. I'd love to hear from. I mean, I'd keep talking and talking, but you know, I definitely want to spread the love. Definitely want to spread the love. So now that we're here. There's a new time to call, 813-699-0834. Thank you for calling in, Watts. Thank you for calling in, sir. So Popeye thinks Jordan's going to be the odd man out. I think actually it's going to be Key. Unless he comes in like gangbusters and can play up to, I mean, Key had all of those almost sacks his rookie year, almost sacks. And if he could keep the weight on, maybe, but isn't that just a good decision to have? Key or Dion Jordan. We'll see. I think Mayala is gone because I think Benson is probably going to want a bigger contract, and he played well for the Raiders last year. He's going to deserve that, but I don't think the Raiders are going to re-sign him. That's just me, especially with the pickup of Nassib. Line is open, 813-699-0834, 813-699-0834. Let's see, we've been on... Oh, okay. Well, we've been on for about, 80 minutes, which is cool. This is only going to be a one-part show. It's 10:20. So I'm glad somebody called because I was saying, like, man, what we got to have a caller call in. 702, who are you? What's going on?
This is Pirate King from Las Vegas.
Hey, good to hear from you, brother. What's going on?
Oh, man. Well, all this, the craziness of, the virus and all that. I mean, I'm like locked in a prisoner, like in my apartment,
Yeah, they got Vegas on quarantine, right?
Yeah, I mean, because I work on the Strip. Remember, that's where we first met. Remember, New Year's, I think it was like 2 years ago.
Yep, New Year's Eve 2 years ago.
And everything, they've been like shutting down everything. I mean, everything's like all the casinos, I mean, all the dealers, everybody's like going on unemployment. I mean, it's very crazy, man, right now. And so anyway, yeah, man, I was just watching the show. And I wanted to kind of comment on the quarterback situation, if that's okay.
Yeah, man. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, the whole thing is with Carr, and I'm not really defending him because I don't defend any player. Either they produce or they don't,
Right.
But the whole thing is that when we went 12-4, I forget exactly what year.
It 2016.
Yeah. Okay. So we went 12-4. Then he got hurt. We didn't make he couldn't play in the playoffs and all that. Then the next year, he came back and they brought in like Beast Mode and these other players, stuff like that. And I really don't think Beast Mode was a very good move. Even though I was born in East Oakland, and Beast Mode is from Oakland, but I have nothing against it. But the thing is that if you look at our record when he came in, it's a losing record both years that he played.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, and so, and all the, the stuff that he brought with him, all, the protesting and all that stuff, I really feel that it really affected our team. It affected Carr. They weren't blocking for him, And so the whole thing is that I feel like right now, okay, they brought in Mariota, who's, whether it'll be a backup or take over the starting job, we don't know yet, but
the big mistake I think that Gruden made when we played the Ravens. Remember in the AFC Championship, and we lost when Gannon got hurt. You know, the big mistake I think that Gruden made that year was that he didn't let the backup play enough to come in, and that game was still winnable when Gannon got hurt.
Yeah, I think that was what, Hoying.
I'm trying to think. You know, I can't remember the name. You know, the name of the backup. Yeah, I think it was probably him.
I think it was Hoying.
So
yeah.
So anyway, I think the big mistake that Gruden made that year was that a lot of the games we were like way ahead. He could have brought Hoying in and like got him some playing time, you know, at quarterback. But what happened was Gannon never wanted to come out. You know, I mean he was second string quarterback with the Vikings or whatever. So he finally had his chance to start with the starting as starting quarterback. And so he never wanted to come out, like even if we were like way ahead. So I think the mistake there was that we still could have won that game if the backup would have had enough playing time to win the game.
Right.
You know, which he didn't. You know, you could tell when he came in. I mean, he was like totally rusty.
Right. And, the other thing is that even if you go to like 2016 when Carr breaks his ankle, what the fuck is he doing in there when the game is well in hand against the Colts? If he doesn't break that ankle, you know, maybe, you know, the Raiders go beyond. They go in and they beat the Texans. Maybe they go in and they beat the Patriots. You know, there's a lot of different things going on that, you know, just because your quarterback is either in too long or not. Yes, I agree. You need to give some time for these guys, but I will say, even if that, whoever wins the quarterback spot, even if they don't get a snap for the rest of the year, they have the capabilities to come in without needing it because they've been starters. Both of them have been starters.
Right.
Now I remember when we had Wade Wilson. And Wade was our number three quarterback, and I can't remember the game where he came in. He was the third quarterback, and we were losing to the Chargers. I think it was like 6-0, and he came in there, and it was like the fourth quarter. He comes in there, throws a bomb, and we win 7-6. And it was like a Monday night or a Sunday night because Wade didn't need any warm-ups. Okay,
right?
Because he had that experience. No matter what happens right now, okay. No matter if it's Mariota, no matter if it's Carr, God forbid that they have to come in right in off of the chops. They won't need any warm-ups, man. I think that's the best thing. This is the best thing for the Raiders, that they actually have a backup, no matter who it is, that's going to be able to come in and just do it right from jump.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when the Raiders, like with Al Davis, like his style was always to have like you had your starter, but you had like an experienced backup, you know, like Blanda, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody could come in.
Vince Evans, man.
And then you had like your third string who was like they were grooming him, you know, get ready, you know, I mean, like a new draft pick or whatever, like. So I like that style. Like, in other words, like you have your starter, you have the second string who has experience, and then you have the third string who's like the new guy that's learning from the other two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always liked that style, you know, and like, so it seems like in these last few years or whatever, we haven't had that, you know.
Remember though, the roster has changed to a point, and the rules have changed to a point.
Right.
That third quarterback is not always there on the roster because of the way that the rosters are in, and you have to have like if you go to your third string quarterback, you can't go back to 1 and 2 no matter what after in that game. So I think that it's a matter of the way the rosters are built up, that you need other people
it has changed, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so if you go to that third string quarterback, you're riding him for the rest of the game.
Right. Just like when we had when Carr got hurt a couple years back, and then we brought in the playoffs. I believe he was a rookie, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of his name.
Yeah, it was Connor. It was Connor Cook, and that was his first game
Connor
ever.
Cook.
Yeah, only because Matt McGroin, or Pat McGroin, as people like to say, Matt McGloin got hurt in Denver the week prior, and so they had Connor Cook came in off the bench, and he hadn't had any throws of note. McGloin gets hurt. Connor Cook is in the game in Denver, and we get shellacked in Denver. And then Connor Cook is playing the next week. It's his first start ever, and I think it was his last appearance in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I haven't heard nothing of him, since.
Yeah, I think he even got cut from the XFL.
And I thought he had a lot of potential. From what I saw, but.
Yeah, well,
I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've had. Remember we've had Andrew Walter. We brought in what's his nose, Michael Vick's cousin that played down in New Orleans. Aaron Brooks.
Right.
Here's the thing. It's like we've been, and by the way, I do enjoy Bruce Gradkowski. If Bruce wasn't made of glass, he would have gone farther in the NFL. Really good friend of mine. Actually, I got to try to get a hold of him. But we need to get those quality backups.
Right. Yeah, that's the whole thing, man. Because especially with Carr, this is my opinion about Carr. People might agree or disagree. I think he has the passing skills. I think he has the decision-making skills. I question his toughness because he's gotten hurt, I don't know, 3 or 4 times over either, since he started with the Raiders. There were kind of key injuries or whatever.
You're talking Carr, right? Yeah,
Carr.
Carr got the broken ankle. He had the broken thumb against the Panthers. Yeah. He had the broken back against the Broncos. So yeah, he's been getting. I want to say he's gun shy, but he was actually he's hearing footsteps, and we need for him not to do that.
Yeah, I think that I could be wrong, but I think that if he has the right supporting cast, and once he gets some momentum going and wins a few games with the supporting cast, I think he could be the guy. You know what I mean? But who knows? I can't predict the future, but having Mariota there, bringing him in, I think that was a very good move. Because the guy is, he's mobile and he has experience. So that's what we need. We need an experienced backup or somebody's going to threaten to take over the job because they like to fire under the starter.
Got it.
Carr.
Hey, King. King, I'm going to open up this line there, brother, because like I said, I had the 5-minute rule. I also have an 8 and 10 minute rule, but I got to let. But hey, good talking to you, man, and
great.
Be sure to call in more often.
You,
call in another time, brother.
Okay, I sure will.
You take care there, King.
Okay, you too.
All right, that was.
All right.
That was Raider King in Vegas, who is a gentleman who works on the Strip. Again, he's in quarantine. I know Mike Sarah's in quarantine. A lot of people. I know that there are a lot of nation. Here it is. California issues stay-at-home order. So I'm watching. I don't know what channel this is. I had something good on. I know it wasn't news. I guess maybe they're doing a news special. But there you go. Everybody's talking about it, but we want to talk about sports. So that's why I'm here. Line is open 813-699-0834. I like people have alluded to, we've done well in free agency. I loved every move we made the first 2 days. Apple, we'll see. Apple is the maybe. But everybody else, and maybe Eli Apple surprises and starts figuring it out. But we'll see. Line is open 813-699-0834. Yeah, come on, Ed Winchell. Carr is not going to win a Super Bowl for the Pats. I don't know who the Patriots are going to have. I mean, if we were to trade Derek Carr to the Patriots, we better get a lot for him. If we trade Carr to the Patriots, I want a first rounder for him and a first rounder next year because it's the Patriots. That's the thing, right? If we're going to be trading him to the Patriots, I want some capital. Guten Morgen, Herr Werner Helmreich. Was ist los over in Deutschland? I hope that you're well over there, Werner, and all the other folks that are there. Guten Morgen to you as well. So we are international. Werner has joined us early over in Germany. Good to hear from him. If it wasn't really expensive, Werner, call in. I mean, you could still call in, but I think it'd be quite expensive. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. But we got a line open for everybody else, 813-699-0834. Remember, on Saturday, I will be on Raider Hardcore again. I'll be doing another panel show. And right on cue, good to hear from him as well. Ed Winchell, thank you for calling in, brother. What's going on?
Hey, buddy. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Are they still having the draft on April 23rd,
yes.
24th?
Yes, the draft dates have not changed. The venue has. They're not having it in Vegas. So what I hope that they will do is, and I don't know whether they've figured out where they're having the draft next year. If they have figured it out that it's going to be in X City in 2021, then hopefully, and I'm pretty sure they'll come back to Vegas in 2022 because they're not going to lose the panache. This is our town, and we want to make sure the NFL is going to show Las Vegas off. But they're not going to have any of the events in Vegas, but they are going to have the draft as of right now on the same dates. It's going to be like a video teleconferencing. It's going to be televised, so there won't be anything that we're not going to be missing. It's just not going to have as much of the glitz and glamour that it has the last several years.
I heard they may be having it in Bristol at ESPN.
I doubt it because first off, why would you have it in Bristol when the NFL Network is also a big person that's in on the draft? They would probably have it in a neutral site. Remember, Bristol's in Connecticut. NFL Network's out in Los Angeles. Why cater to just ESPN?
Well, they were reporting on ESPN, and I heard it from ESPN.
Well, there you go.
They were in talks.
What was it?
They were in talks.
Okay.
They were in talks to have it there, so I don't know the validity of it, Cap.
Maybe ESPN is putting bugs in somebody's ear, but I wouldn't want to have it in Bristol. If anything, you have it in corporate New York, where it was before. It used to be at the Rockefeller Center. The
Right.
NFL offices are in New York. It's going to be a video teleconference anyway. So why not have it? You don't need to put it on location. You just figure out people are going to tune in to see who gets drafted where.
You think Cincinnati takes Burrows and Washington takes the kid?
The kid from Ohio State, Chase Young?
Young.
Here's the thing. I think that Burrow is going to go to the Bengals. But if you're the Redskins at number 2, or you're the Lions at number 3, and everybody wants to possibly trade up for Tua, okay?
Right.
If you're the Redskins who needs a lot of help as well, you can get a lot of help by trading back with a bunch of picks and a swap, just like the Lions could trade back from 3. And remember, the Dolphins are there at 5, and I think the Chargers are there at 6 or 7, something like that. And they're going to want a quarterback. They're going in because the Chargers have already stated that they're not going to sign a big vet. That they're going to roll with Tyrod Taylor this year. But that's not saying that they're not going to draft a quarterback. So if I'm the Redskins or the Lions, I'm offering up, say, how many picks are you going to give us to move up? And you're only moving down 2 or 3 spots and getting a bunch of picks.
Right.
So we'll see who wants to offer up.
You know, it's common knowledge that when a team drafts a player, that they draft the most athletic available player at the position they pick. I think that's more sound than saying they pick a player that they need desperately for a position, that in the past they've always gone for the best athletic available player that's there when their number comes up in the draft. That being said, if the Raiders do you think they move up, or do they sit at 12 and go with the cornerback or a wide receiver or a linebacker?
I think the Raiders are going to stick at 12 and see who falls.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Mike Mayock, now granted, he's only had one draft, official draft, so we don't know what his well, Mike Mayock always does X. Mike Mayock hasn't always done anything because we only have had 1 year of him.
1 year, right.
There, okay? But I think that what the Mike Mayock is of a mind that you can get quality players by moving back. That's why I think that we're going to pick whoever we want at 12, providing, and here's the other thing, providing that the 1, 2, or 3 players that we wanted at 12 are there. Because I think that he has maybe 3 players, maybe 4, that are in mind. But let's say they only had 3 players in mind that they really wanted at 12, right? And all 3 of those guys are gone, okay? Then it becomes, who wants to come up? Maybe there is somebody that wants to come up and get a pick at 12, and we trade back 12 too. It all depends upon how the picks above us go. But I firmly believe that Mayock is going to get who he wants at 12, and if not, maybe that's the pick that they trade back. And maybe they do it again at 19. It all depends upon what the board is.
Makes a lot of sense. Do you think sitting there at 12, do you think we go linebacker?
It depends upon how highly you rate Queen. Because I think
Queen's better than Kinlaw?
No, listen to me. You were talking about linebacker. I didn't say
Right.
If I'm at 12 and Kinlaw's on the board, I'm going Kinlaw. But let's say Kinlaw is gone, and let's say Simmons is gone. If you
then you go to Queen.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think that Queen might be there at 19? I think he might be. So if that's true, then maybe that's the pick you trade back, pick up some more picks. If you think that Patrick Queen, who is your alternate going to be for your linebacker position, maybe that's where you go back. Or is CeeDee Lamb there? Or Ruggs? Because I think Judy might be the first off the board, if not Lamb. If CeeDee Lamb is there at 12, maybe you do go out and get him. Because I think CeeDee Lamb is the best wide receiver in this draft. I think that the Alabama wide receivers have a lot of ability. The one thing I didn't like about Lamb in the championship games is that he couldn't get off the line. So hopefully he works on that, and so we'll see. But he got mugged, and he couldn't do anything about it. I think LSU did a really good job on that. So we'll see. We'll see if he can get off the line in the pros, because he's gonna need to do that. He's gonna need to beat press coverage.
That's true. All right, Cap. Well, I just wanted to check in and get your feedback on those couple questions I had.
I appreciate it, Ed. Always good hearing from you as well.
And you're having a good show tonight.
Thank you.
Very enjoyable.
Thank you. I do try.
I know you do, and you do a good job at it, shipmate.
Thank you, brother. Always good hearing from you. You take care out there, Ed. Stay well quarantined, brother.
Thank you, brother. I will.
All right. That was you be well. That was Ed Winchell out in. I think Ed lives out Sacramento way. And again, for all you people that are quarantined, I might be joining you. I don't know. It all depends upon what the word is. But if I'm here quarantined, I'll do more shows. Not all the time, because I want to really work on the videos and promos and music and things that I have to do that I don't have a lot of time at. And by the way, I got to work on my taxes. Job one, man. Job one is I'm going to need to work on my taxes. So that's the first thing that's going to be done if I have to be here. Anyway, line is open. You don't need to knock out anybody because there's nobody on. Line is open, 813-699-0834. It was good. It was good to have Popeye in the audience tonight. Popeye's always fun. See here, and again, Vicky, thank you for coming back. Yeah, I know you had your room booked in Vegas. I tell you, and now somebody was saying, and I had this before where people were asking. It's like, and I can't remember. I think that maybe Steve was saying that the Raiders have turned down the offer to go back to Oakland for this year. I think that's what he said. I haven't seen that, but again, there's only so much that I've seen. So if that's true, then somebody can enlighten me in the comments section. Because maybe all things being even, hopefully that the Vegas Stadium will be done, but there's no guarantee on that now. Not because of X, Y, and Z, but maybe the entire country being shut down at different points. Hopefully that won't disturb the progress. But here's the other thing, and I am a season ticket holder in Vegas and in Oakland. I just want to make sure that there's an actual year. I just want to see that I'm going to be going to a game. Because I'll be damned, because when they cancel a season, and this is all about the lawyer portion, if a game is canceled, then I think it's incumbent upon the people that you buy your tickets from to refund your tickets. Excuse me. If a game is postponed, like the Flyers Lightning game that I was supposed to go to when they started postponing the NHL games, that was the game I was supposed to be at. If a game is postponed, they don't necessarily need to give you your ticket money back because there's a possibility that the game is going to take place later. The minute that game is off the books, then I'll get my money back. I have 2 Philly spring training games that have been postponed because those dates have not been identified yet. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully the NFL season will go as it's supposed to. This season is going to be a 16-game season. I'm not sure if the new playoff rules apply this year. That I don't know. But I do know that this will be a 16-game season because that's what they've been working on schedule-wise. Now, that schedule might have to change depending upon the venues if they push the season back. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, it's all conjecture. Line is open, 813-699-0834. Lance Sanfilippo. Hey, I was listening to Raider Bear on this morning. I didn't get a chance to hit the show last night, but apparently you got in as one of your top 3 people. So if you want to talk about your Giants, go ahead and call in as well. We'll see if I have any more callers. I definitely want to try to get out at 2 hours and get some rest. But we'll see if we have any more callers. Line is open, 813-609-0834. While I have a chance, like I said, look for me, Hardcore Raider show Saturday. It'll be a panel show. Look for me over at the Raider Junkie site. Okay? So if you see a show that you knew that was on my site, check over at Raider Junkies if it's not here because it might be posted over there. And since this is not a 2-parter, I'll do another show for Junkie so he can have something to push for the show over there. remember, again, I'm going to be doing more of the Raider Great interviews. If I have somebody else to come over, if I have like another person I can have, it's not just Raiders, but, that's who I have contact with. So we'll go from there. And again, enjoy all of the broadcasts from all of the people that are trying to do their best to give you good content and information here. Some of us are better than others. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, there we go. Raiders declined the 2020 lease extension. Thank you. Had till the 6th of March to say they were going to use the Coliseum. Okay. Thank you there, Mike. I appreciate that. I know that there was somebody had said something about it. I hadn't known. That's good. I appreciate that. Line is open 813-609-0834. If I don't have any further calls, and no, I'm not goading anybody. But I will give, I'll give another 30 seconds, maybe a minute. I'll see when the big hand gets on the 10 till on my clock here, So it's only maybe about another 90 seconds. But we'll go from that. Again, enjoy being here. Enjoy talking with you. Enjoy the discourse amongst fans of football. I enjoyed having Watts Raider come on. Vicky Orr, good to see you as well. Appreciate the time. And you know what? I forgot to say, if you like everything that you've seen tonight, please give me a thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up, because apparently I need more thumbs ups. And again, I feel I need to do my due diligence. I get talking so much, and it's not that I'm looking for the applause. It's not that I'm looking for that, but if you can give me some thumbs up, I get the thumbs up that are here. That's here in the on the side, but also down in the right below the frame where there's an actual thumbs up. Please do that. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the fact that if you're going to be here, then there you go. You're playing Monopoly, and Vicky is watching me. I appreciate that. But considering what I said a couple minutes ago, final show of the week. Okay, well, JT the Brick said he's having his final show of the week. So having said that, based upon what I was going to show,